All right, guys. So I'm back out here today. I've got the CTX. Let me lay this mic down right here, and we'll pick it back up in a minute. But I first want to say this. I said something in a video yesterday, and I apologize for it. I don't normally get into the name calling business, but after reviewing that and a commenter calling me out on that, yeah, I took that video down. That's not cool. Sorry about that. Did not mean to do that. But over the years, I've caught a lot of flack about this. And one of the commenters says, oh, you don't know how to run the CTX. And let me tell you something. I paid $2,000 for this machine. And basically, I wanted to see how it performs to the Manticore. That is my whole goal of this video series. Which one is better? Can we come to a conclusion off of testing? Well, we're going to find that out. And we're going to look at a test here in just a minute. I'm going to show you how I've had to lower basically the tone break, and I'm using combined tones, and I like the way that they sound, and that's what I'm running off of. And I got that off of Gary Blackwell this morning, and I've spent a good bit of time watching CTX videos, really trying to get a feel for how to adjust this machine. And I said in a video the other day that I tried it in every configuration. I did. Combine, open screen, fast, deep recovery on, deep recovery off to get it to pass these tests. The only way to get it to pass that test right there is to go in and lower the tone breakdown into the iron region further than what Minelab decided to put it in factory. Now, okay, where do you find that information out? Well, I luckily found it tucked in about 10 minutes into Gary Blackwell's video. Okay. So no, I'm not a CTX 1,000-hour user. Not going to be, don't want to be. The machine is heavy, it's slow, it's laggy, and in my opinion, it's way overpriced for what it is in 2025. Now, will it pass that test? I don't got it mic'd up, but you hear it passing that test with ease now. But my response to that is whoopity-da-da-do. Every detector $400 and above will pass that test. But we're really concerned, though, not so much with that $400 detectors are whipping my $2,000 detector out of the box. We're not really concerned with that. Ease of use? No. It's going to take some know-how. You're going to have to go watch some videos. And let me just save you some time. If you really want to use this machine, I don't know if you can use 28 or not in your area, but that might be a good place to start. Go into combined, drop it down into the 28 region. Okay, with that being said, I've got a little setup right here. I just want you guys to look at it. 2 square nails elevated up on that right there. I'm going to hook up the CTX, and just in case I didn't show you, I'm going to go in and show you where I've got the tone break. You guys can see. Let me go in and resize it. You can see where it's at. So that's what we're going to do, and that's where we're going to run it. That's where we're going to test it from here on out. Gary, if it's good enough for Gary Blackwell in the UK, it's good enough for Calabash in his test garden. We're going to look at it over these 2 nails. I'll go ahead and tell you, there's something under these 2 nails. You guys see I'm in coin mode. We can try it with fast recovery on, fast recovery off. I tried it. It didn't really matter, but we'll try it with both. Okay. Wiggle right over it. Look at the screen. Let me pop up the screen here with a wiggle now. Look. Wiggle, coil height. Look at that. Back and forth. Let's go in, cut fast off. All right, let's go back to detecting. Maybe wiggle, we get a little high blip, but we don't metal detect wiggling. So we're just going to go slow. Okay. So we've got it set at the 28 in combined tones, normal tone response, not none of that smooth or long or none of that stuff. We're going to go over here to the Manticore. And, you know, while we're here, let's talk about the Manticore just for a minute. And this is something that the E-Track, the CTX doesn't have. When we look at the Manticore, let me get it fired up here, and we look, I'm in a deep high or an all-terrain high conductor program, which makes this machine lower weighted frequencies, which is hotter on silver. Now, something that you can't do with the E-Track or the CTX is when you change these programs to low conductors, it changes the way the machine processes the frequencies, and it basically hones in on the higher frequencies, which make it better on low conductors. But in this testing, I really want to know how it compares to the CTX in the high conductive program, because the CTX and E-Track are known for finding silver coins here in the United States. But, you know, when we look at the unmasking test and all of that with the Manticore versus the E-Track, CTX and the E-Track, well, let's look at it right here real quick. So let's just, we see it smoking, ID and the copper in there. And I showed that in the video earlier. But the question is can the Manticore set up in similar fashion? Let me show you the settings on this. Recovery speed is 4. That is the lowest that I run the Manticore. And you know, some people don't take much, you know, with these detectors and this type of testing, but I will say this. Over the years that I've been doing this type of testing and testing for manufacturers, the best unmasking detectors pass these tests the best. Is that just, you know, is that coincidence? I don't think so. I think it's part of how they work. And I think these tests are very telling. Are they end-all? Nope, because there's other factors that come in, mineralization, et cetera, et cetera. But if it won't pass it on top of this cooler in the air, it's not going to do any better in the ground. And one commenter asked me why I was doing these tests when the CTX passed those. And let me say this. The nail is further away from the target in the ground over there. Hence, why $400 machines and up could pass the test straight out of the box. We're going to have to change that test, make it more difficult. But enough rambling on. Is there something under those nails? Now you say, well, Calabash, your grain is swinging the Manticore. Well, what happens if we speed it up? Can't swing it like a bat out of you know what. But remember, we could raise the recovery speed because we did have that one on fast. Let's raise it to 6. What does that do? Well, let's try it. Almost can't outrun the coil with it sounding off. Well, let's hover it like we did the CTX. Look at the high of that coil. Well, Calabash, that's the nail sounding off. Calabash, that's the nail sounding off. That Manticore is not hitting that target that high. Back down. And guys, that right there is what I've been trying to get at. It's just that simple. You see that, right? Could we possibly go in and take the iron range out all the way down to, what is it, 34? Well, who knows? Who cares? I can shut this one up. Watch this. Let me show you something. It is running on a 7 and 3, and that is what we hunt here with. Amazing, right? Well, let's go up and let's just run it up to about 11. Look, I shut the screen down on the machine in a severe iron unmasking test. Let's try it one more time. Let's see, how far can we go? This is kind of interesting. I don't think we can go to 14. I think that it'll be gone, but let's just see for argument's sake. Not 14. Dang, I got sweat in my eyes and everything else, guys. Let me go back. Let's go back to the presets. Let's lower it down to 12. So 11 is the number. Let's hit 11. That is almost shutting the machine completely down with iron filter. You see what I'm saying, guys? You see the coin? Oh, well, let me show you what it is. Yeah, it's a big old USA $50. I mean, it's huge. Now, what's going to happen when we shrink the size of the target? Well, we'll get to those tests in the next few days, and you guys tell me what you think about that. I mean, what else is there to do to the CTX? Okay, I'm going to ask. I'm asking for help here. What else is there to do to the CTX in combined tones to make it do better at iron unmasking? Leave a comment below.